Order, shot fire, officer down, shot fire, officer down. Got a city officer down, shot fire.
223, be advised, we have a visual on enemy paratroopers in grid Papa uniforms.
Welcome to the Resilient Warrior Nation, a podcast dedicated to inspiring hope and healing for first responders, military veterans, and anyone facing PTSD and trauma. Hey guys, welcome to another podcast episode of the Resilient Warrior Nation. I'm your host, Mike Morgan, and as I do every episode, I like to quickly explain why I wear this shirt. This is not a proclamation. This is the company owned by a man named Eddie Penny. He is a former SEAL, Team 6, Devereaux guy, and when I sat down in the spring of 2023 to watch a podcast episode of the Sean Ryan Show, I did not realize that Eddie was going to change my life. During the course of that episode, Eddie was recounting the story of the Extortion 17 incident in which a Chinook was shot down in Afghanistan, killing all 38 aboard, including 17 SEALs. It was their largest loss of community in one event, and Eddie lost his best friend, Jason Workman, in the incident. Eddie was telling the story of escorting Jason's body back to his hometown, and as he did, he was upset, rightly so. I am a 30-year retired police officer, and simultaneously began thinking about a call that I had buried 5 years before. It was literally the one call in my 30-year career that I started crying. That call consisted of a 2-year-old found floating in a pool, beautiful girl named Dana Sikorsky. And as Eddie was telling his story and I thought about Dana, I began, no other words to describe it, I began crying like a baby. Was not sure why I was doing so at the time. Really didn't know what was happening. But prior to this incident, I had retired approximately 8 months prior and began experiencing feelings of depression, anger, just general unhappiness. Was not sure the origination. I'm pretty self-aware, but knew I wasn't myself, did not know why. Looking back now, it was a combination of things, one of which was, just like Dana's call, I had been inside the most devastatingly intimate moments of other people's lives over and over and over, and that had caused some sort of PTSD, coupled with the fact that I was no longer this thing I was for 30 years. I was no longer part of this thing I was for 30 years. I was going through a long-term injury and subsequent surgeries, so I had no purpose in life at that point, and collectively, these things just kind of created that perfect storm. So once I realized it was some sort of PTSD, I knew I needed help, wasn't sure how I was going to go about it, didn't think I was going to speak to some man or woman sitting behind a desk, some counseling sessions, and tell them what I've done, what I've seen, and they were going to be able to help me. Furthermore, I'd seen these war fighters coming back as self-proclaimed broken men, and they were talking about the healing journeys using psychedelics. So I began paying more attention, started doing research on my own. Ayahuasca was kind of calling me, and March 1st of last year, my wife and myself went to a facility called Soul Quest Ayahuasca Church in Orlando, Florida, and I literally changed my life over the course of a weekend. 2 workmates and friends had committed suicide 3 weeks before that, my Suffolk County Police Department, and Sergeant had killed himself in a precinct locker room. Never thought I'd be in this space, but just as this conversation's going right now, the universe and I were speaking. I know it sounds weird if you've never journeyed with psychedelics, but the universe told me my life's pursuit was to go forth and help other vets and first responders heal their PTSD and trauma issues. And I said, okay, out loud. Wasn't sure how I was going to accept it, or implement it, I should say. One of the ways I decided to do so was create a podcast to do for others what Sean Ryan did for me, in which I bring on ordinary people who've done extraordinary things with their lives. I hope you guys and girls who are going through it identify and see yourselves in my guests as they tell their highest of highs, the lowest of lows. I hope to give you hope and inspiration, and if you're going through it, I hope you raise your hand, because you can be healed. You can experience happiness again. I promise you, life is a beautiful thing, but you must ask for help. So I am super pumped to introduce my next guest. He's Mitch Aguilar. Mitch is a 10-year Navy SEAL veteran, professional MMA fighter, and entrepreneur. Mitch joined the Navy in 2008, went straight to BUD/S, and graduated BUD/S Class 273. After he completed SEAL training, he was stationed at SEAL Team 10 in Virginia Beach, where he did multiple combat deployments to Afghanistan as well as Europe. In 2012, Mitch, a.k.a. the Smashing Frog, love that name, had started competing in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu as well as mixed martial arts as a hobby, and quickly found success in both. And by the time Mitch had left the Navy in 2018, he was a 10-time champion in mixed martial arts and was ranked number 1 on the East Coast in both the 170 and 185-pound divisions. In January of 2018, Mitch launched his supplement company, MASF Supplements. This led him to develop a unique blend of powdered superfoods called the Smashing Greens. By 2020, MASF Supplements had become a successful company, which allowed Mitch to fund and launch his own charity, Adopt a Cop BJJ, a 501(c) that allows for police officers anywhere in the United States to attend any Brazilian Jiu Jitsu Academy of their choosing and learn Brazilian Jiu Jitsu free of charge until the rank of blue belt. Thank you for that, brother. The charity quickly grew and is currently affiliated with and being utilized by well over 1,000 gyms across all 50 states. The program has had over 350 officers graduate and receive their blue belts.
400.
400. All right, nice. So it's 400. Awesome. In 2022, Mitch launched a second brand called Violent Hippie, which sells apparel, jiu-jitsu gis, and organic CBD. That same year, Mitch opened up the Violent Hippie Jiu Jitsu Academy, which offers jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, and mixed martial arts training to its members. The brand/academy's philosophy and motto is "Be kind or else, motherfuckers." Motherfuckers not included in there, but it should be. Mitch, welcome to the podcast. It's an honor and pleasure to have you on, brother.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. For those of you who are watching right now, Mitch probably looks familiar. He may be best known in some circles as the SEAL who sparred Sean Strickland last year. And kudos to you for stepping up and taking that challenge, brother, because it takes fucking balls to enter that ring and fight a world-class fighter. How can you just, I don't want to stay on it too long, but you kind of tell us about that experience?
Yeah, no, it wasn't fun, but
you didn't give up, man. Kudos to you, bro.
I didn't, I don't like, looking back at it, it was, like, I don't like to say I sparred him or I fought him because I didn't. I just took a beating. I would like to actually go back and for round 2 and, we'll actually fight this time and I'll fight back. And, if he beats me, which he will beat me, but that's okay. Yeah. But that particular challenge was to endure the beating and not quit, so
you did.
Yeah. So, hopefully we'll go back for round 2 someday, but, yeah, no, that it's not fun being in the cage with a, big guy that's the world champion fighter. There's levels to everything, and when it comes to fist fighting, Sean Strickland's the best in the world at that weight. So yeah, but my whole point of that was just to show that SEALs will never quit.
That's awesome. Yeah, and it's such an important lesson in life, man. Listen, there's always going to be bigger, badder, stronger, whatever. Put the adjective in there than you, but you did not quit, and that is the most important lesson to learn in life, man. Just keep getting up, which you did, and it's so funny because I read comments there, and keyboard warriors, kill me. These cats wouldn't last 10 seconds in the ring with you, but one guy in particular made a comment the other day. I looked him up. This cat was like $140 soaking wet. Like, you gotta be shitting me, man. Don't you have to be at least 150 to be able to talk shit on Instagram? Or you should have to. It's unbelievable, especially after what you've been through in your military career. But Mother Teresa would get hate online.
I've, look at Jesus. They hated him so much they killed him.
Exactly.
But, I've been on the online influencer, whatever you want to call it, scene for 10 years now. I'm very used to being criticized online, and that is the most visceral place to be criticized because of exactly that. Keyboard warriors, there's zero consequences.
Yep. They
just kind of shoot off at the fingertips whatever they want to say, and I don't put any sort of weight behind that at all. I don't pay attention to it. I don't care. And to be honest, the majority of them just make me laugh. Just for saying, okay, this guy's running his mouth or whatever, and we all know what would happen. And
yeah, absolutely. Everyone punches up. They don't punch down. You're not going to see guys better than you talking shit. It's always the ones underneath who are trying to punch up. And you have to laugh at that.
Well, I mean, and I've had, but on the other hand, I have had trolls, and it's like anything. Like sometimes I'll click and look, and I'm like, who's this person? Like, what did you say? Or maybe I'm in a mood, and and I can't, and maybe I want to respond, maybe I want to whatever. And I have had some local trolls, like in the past, over the last few years, like running their mouth, and when I see they're local, I'm like, oh well, perfect. Like, why don't you pull up?
Yeah.
And I've had several trolls pull up, and I've beaten their ass and posted the videos. So I'm
awesome.
petty as well. So
yeah. It's good to be sometimes, though, Ro. Great stories.
I have a good sense of humor, and I can laugh, and and especially if someone makes a good joke or a good burn, and I'm the target, that's fine. It just has to be funny.
Yeah, exactly.
I will laugh at myself. Trust me.
Yeah, I've been in uniform before, and most of the time we get together, I didn't do it, stupid shit like that. But every once in a while, man, someone will come with something good, and I'd have to stop. Like, yo, bro, I got to give you fucking props for that. That is creative. And
yeah. Someone the other day, I can't even remember what video it was, but there was just a random troll, and he said, "This guy looks like he moans when he shits," and I lost it. When I read that, I was dying laughing, and I commented like, "Bro, that is so good. I'm stealing that." And then he was like, "All right, cool."
That's awesome. There's some funny motherfuckers online. Like, look at some of these videos, and then all you do is go to the comment section. You're like, man, there's some funny motherfuckers rolling around.
Yeah, for sure.
It really is.
I really don't mind at all. I've gone viral on a ton of things, and when you go viral, you're going to just be exposed to tons of different perspectives and viewpoints. And some are gonna love what you have to say, some are gonna hate it, others are gonna talk shit, others are gonna support, whatever. And I don't put any kind of weight behind it. I don't care at all.
Yeah, good for you. That's the way you should be.
Yeah.
So, all right, brother. So, kind of let's backtrack a little bit. We'll start chronologically. Just kind of tell us about your childhood, growing up, how your childhood was. Let us know, Mitch.
Yeah, I had a great childhood. First of all, I was very, very, looking back, now as an adult, very, very fortunate, very blessed to have the childhood I had. My parents were divorced from
Where'd you grow up, Mitch?
Virginia Beach.
Okay.
Yeah, my parents were both in the Navy. They were young. They had me at 20 years old. And they were divorced before I could even remember. I never remembered them being together. So, that didn't have, to my knowledge, any kind of like real traumatic effect on me. Like I said, that's all I knew. Right. And so yeah, grew up, good parents. My mom and dad are both awesome. I give them credit for instilling values and everything that they instilled in me growing up. They were very aggressive people. They were very competitive people. They were very protective people, and kind of instilled all that stuff in me. And I think that kind of just transferred to my adult life. And I went in the SEAL teams right out of high school. And
how were mom and dad? Were they good with your decision to enter the military?
Yeah, my dad actually, he was always trying to join the military, or kind of floating that idea, and I just wasn't ever interested. I never wanted to join the military. Okay. And he was a combat man with the SEAL teams, which I knew he was in the military. I didn't know what he did necessarily. I just didn't care. I was like, oh, my dad's a soldier, whatever. Yeah. And, my mom was in the Navy as well for a while, and then she got out and worked, different jobs and everything. My stepdad was also in the Navy, so exposed to a lot of it, but I just never had any interest in joining the military. But when I did join the military, my recruiter just caught me on a good day that I was just bored, and he was like, hey, do you want to join the Navy? And I was like, sure, why not? He was like, well, you look like you're in good shape. Do you want to be a SEAL? I said, yeah, sure, why not? That's fine. And I didn't know I had
so much thought, bro.
Yeah,
amazing, man.
I didn't know I had to go to BUD/S, nothing. My mom was like, yeah, if if you were going to join the military, I could see you being a SEAL. They're like the rock stars of the military. And I was like, okay, whatever. So went, joined the Navy. Yeah, didn't know I had to go to Buds. Found out I had to go to Buds, and went to Buds. Went to my SEAL team.
How was Buds for you? Fairly easy?
It was good. I would say the hardest part of Buds for me was just being, 19.
Okay.
Like, that my maturity in Buds. Most people going through Buds that make it through are, 24 to 26 range, and older.
Right.
So that's a big difference, 18, 19-year-olds versus 24, 25 years old. It's a big difference in maturity and life experience and stuff. So that was definitely my biggest, I would say, challenge,
Okay.
Physically, I did very well. Running I was never the greatest runner. I'm a good sprinter. I was captain of the goon squad, but yeah, not great at long distance running. Not super fast. Every run was a prayer.
Okay. Yeah.
And, but
that feeling.
Yeah, got through it, and I checked into my SEAL team. Before I could legally go into a bar, I was getting ready to go to Afghanistan.
Wow, that is amazing. So just tell us the progression now. You go to Buds, and then after that, you go right into SQT. Can you just kind of explain that as well for people that don't know what it is?
Yeah, SQT is so Buds is basic underwater demolition SEAL training, and it's basically just a selection course that they just beat your ass and try to get you to quit, and then once you show that you are not going to quit and you're the type of person that they want to invest in with training, then you start doing all the other training. And Buds is the basic SEAL training, so basic diving, basic shooting, basic tactics, stuff like that. And then after you get through that, which the whole time is a selection course, and everything is on, like, you have to perform, and you have to not just perform, but you have to meet these standards, and you have to also improve every week.
Okay.
Or else you'll get dropped. And we had getting dropped, right at the very end because their swim time didn't improve from last week or something.
Wow.
So
are they meeting like the minimum yet it's still, or is the minimum like shrinking, getting faster and faster and faster?
The minimums get faster and faster, but you also have to improve.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So in other words, if you meet a minimum one week and the next week you meet it, but your time is slower, perhaps you could get tossed.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Huh. All right. Put a little more pressure on for the guys.
Yeah. They don't want people sandbagging.
Yeah, true.
The whole point is it's a selection course. They want the best of the best, so you have to give it your all.
Right.
And after Buds, then you go to SQT, which is SEAL qualification training, and that's a little bit more of like a workup, kind of more advanced actual SEAL skills, more advanced diving, skydiving, more advanced explosives, more advanced tactics, all the actual things that a SEAL does.
Okay.
And then,
are you guys going like to outside places for this training, or is this like all held in-house kind of?
No, it's all in different training locations.
Okay, so you could be kind of going throughout the country, skydiving could be here, and okay.
Yep.
And then how long is that entire SQT training?
If you go through without any hiccups or anything, no troubles physically or performance, it's 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you'll get orders to go to a SEAL team.
And then, so when you arrive after all this training, you're getting here. All these guys obviously are seasoned veterans for the most part. How do you feel? Do you feel like a freshman walking into the high school? Like,
oh yeah,
yeah. It's just you're literally nothing to these guys. I'm assuming as you walk through that door.
I mean, you're just like, it's weird because before when you first kind of and I can only speak to myself. When I first decided, okay, this is the route I'm going to go, then I kind of like learned about what Buds and Hell Week was and like what Navy SEALs were kind of. And then it's like, holy shit, this is a different level of like, just when you really understand what these guys have to go through and the standards to get to that point, and then like on top of that, what the job is and what it actually is, then you start looking at it a little bit differently, and you almost look at these people like they're superheroes in a way or something, you know?
Okay.
And I remember like first meeting SEALs, or like a couple SEALs, meeting like, I remember meeting this guy who's a SEAL. He's probably retired now, but we were, he went through just a little bit ahead of me, and he was a brown shirt in third phase when I was getting ready to go to Buds. And I remember meeting him, and I was just like, holy shit, this guy's been through Hell Week. Like,
Yeah.
like that's crazy.
Yeah, the other side.
Like, I can't believe, like, you actually did that. Like,
Yeah.
and, you know, this is what my whole focus is, like, and my obsession is, can I do this?
Yep.
And you actually did it. And I know how hard it is. And so it's like just this level of respect that you give these people, you know, and then going through, then when you actually get to Buds and you're surrounded by SEAL instructors and you're looking at them like they're almost like gods, you know?
Yeah.
And then you get through the training and you become kind of like accepted, well, not even accepted, but you're like now a peer sort of, you know?
You have
And
the
then
keys to go through the door.
Yeah, and then you kind of enter the kingdom, and it's like, whoa, the Buds instructors were one thing, but it's like these guys are actually in the teams doing the job and like have probably done more than you'll ever know. Like some of these guys, you know, like some of these dudes have killed more people than cancer. And, you know, and you're just the brand new guy. Like you've done nothing. And it's kind of just humbling and a bit like nerve-wracking, you know, just because you just don't know what to expect. And
do you ever get self-doubt at that point where you're like, maybe in your head you're like, man, I don't belong here?
You just know that you need to prove yourself. It's not that like, it's not that you don't deserve to be there or whatever, because you feel like you did earn your spot to be there. You know, they were all once where you were.
Yeah,
you know,
of course.
And it's just like, yeah, humbling, I would say. It's just realizing that you are at the start of the journey and they are way down the path that you're going to be needing to walk. And it's just like a level of respect that you kind of have to just give these people, you know?
Yeah. That's a good attitude to have. I mean, it's humility at its finest, and there's a reason why you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. You know, there's much to be listened and learned at that point for you guys. So, all right, so you get to the teams, and how long from that point until you deploy for your first time?
I got there while my team was actually still on deployment. So it was a couple months, and then I did a full workup, which is a year and a half, full workup. And then our first deployment we did, they, for whatever reason, decided to extend our deployment.
Okay.
And they were going to like kind of pair up with the Army's schedule or something like that. And they told us like this damn near like a month before we left, or a few weeks. Wasn't even a month maybe.
And how
they
long
said,
had you been there at that point when they told you this?
I'd been there a year and a half more.
Your deployment was in a year and a half itself?
No. I was at my team for over a year and a half, and we were about to do a deployment. And our normal deployments were 6 months, but they said, hey, we're going to like kind of try to marry up with the Army schedule or something. And they were like, so you're going to basically do 2 back to back. And it was like, oh shit. Okay. That's a long time, you know? Yeah. And, so we ended up doing just over 11 months in Afghanistan, and basically went there 6 months, came home for 2 weeks, and then went right back for another 5 months.
Wow. And how was it for you, that first deployment overall?
It was a great life experience, I would say, because my deployment to Afghanistan, we were the furthest outpost from any base in Afghanistan. Wow. So we were the furthest that there was from, like, so we had I had no running water the whole year. We were getting our food airdropped in. We were, it was very hard living, like sleeping on a cot, you know what I mean? And doing watches every night because our bases would get attacked. It was hardcore, and I called us SEAL bees because we were kind of like CBs and SEALs, because we would have to be filling HESCOs and filling sandbags and all that stuff, and building our living conditions and everything on top of doing our operations.
Wow. So during this time, how many were you busy in terms of like gunfights and, operations?
Yeah, no, we went out all the time. Sometimes we would go out twice a day.
Wow.
And we got in gunfights, got in ticks, a lot of IEDs, having to deal with IEDs. That was like my biggest concern. The gunfights weren't necessarily. The gunfights, like you it's weird to say, but like you kind of like want them, like you're.
I was going to ask you how you felt about it.
I remember being like very antsy. I wanted to get into a gunfight because we trained so much. It's like being, on a football team and you're just constantly practicing. Like you want to go play the game.
Yep.
So, I just remember being very, very antsy. Like I want to go fucking kick some ass, and
love it.
That was it. But and gunfights were not nearly as nerve-wracking as the IEDs, the constant threat of IEDs, because like the IEDs were just invisible, right. And it was just walking like, please don't blow up, please don't blow up, please don't blow up, please don't blow up. And that was very real. It was the biggest threat that we faced, and we saw it all the time. We had IEDs go off, with less than 100 yards from our base, our compound. Wow. We had our compound get hit with rockets. Small arms fired. Our base would just come under attack, and we'd have to grab our guns and go jump on the wall.
Yeah.
And we had, and their sleep schedules were messed up too, because you had to do a roving watch,
Okay. And how long? Like 2 hours at a time, something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like, you'd also have to, like, we had to burn our own shit, Yeah. Like, and I was the new guy. So
nice.
Guess who's doing,
Yeah. The glamorous part, man.
Yeah. So, on top of like being a SEAL in Afghanistan and doing missions and stuff, I'm also driving the forklift and grabbing the shit and bringing it over to the barrel and burning it, and you know what I mean. It's just hard. It was hard living, but I guess worse than prison. Like it would be worse than any kind of prison.
I can imagine. I can't imagine mental stress from the IEDs alone. Just it's invisible. There's no one to fight, so to speak, and you don't know what's going to happen step to step.
Yeah, I mean,
does that get to you?
I'm pretty accepting of like, this is my life now,
Yep.
And because what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Like, you got to play the cards you're dealt sometimes, and you crying about it and being upset about it isn't going to change anything. It's not going to serve you. It's not going to benefit you. Having a good attitude is the best thing that you can do sometimes, and
100%.
I was religious at the time, and for me it was just kind of like, well, I believe I'm going to go to heaven if I die, and so it was kind of just like, and I can't really, if I'm going to die, I'm going to die, like, and there's nothing I can really do about that other than move my best, employ all the training that I've I've done over the years, and do my best. Like, but if it's my time to go, it's my time to go, and I'm okay with that. And so I kind of just let go of that. I didn't really worry about it too much.
Good. It's the best thing you could do. It's funny. My first 10 and change. I was a cop in Atlanta. My first 10 and change, and it was an extremely violent place. And I remember getting out of the shower one day before going to work, and literally looking in the mirror, talking to God. I'm like, if it's my destiny to die in the line of duty, and not that I'm glorifying death, nor did I want to die in the line of duty, but if that's the way my destiny, just please let me kill the dude that kills me. That's all I ask. And to me, that's the best attitude you can have in terms of accepting it. If it happens, it happens. Like, you cannot worry about that shit. It's out of your hands, man. I think we all have an expiration date. Who the fuck knows when it is? But when your number's called, man, I've seen some people that you never thought would have gotten killed who died in incidents, and other people that, like, for sure, like, man, that dude's dead and he survived. Like, I don't know, man. I think it's an expiration date somewhere on all of us, and nothing we can do about it.
Well, that's the thing, is like, the one guarantee in life is it's not forever. You know?
Yeah, man.
it is what it is. Your time is, and the other thing was, like, I'm not gonna, or I'm not gonna, like, care. Really, it's more like I feel bad for the people I'm gonna leave behind, and that will be sad about it. But I won't. I'll be dead.
Exactly. They're gonna be the ones stuck with it, unfortunately. But all right. So you get done with that deployment. Come back to the States. What's next for you now?
Then I get big into martial arts and start doing jiu-jitsu competitively and fighting MMA competitively. And
did you train as a kid prior to SEALs?
No.
Never did. Okay.
No, just growing up fighting, like in school and stuff.
Yep.
I was really protective of my little brother growing up, and gotten a lot of fights, and so it was kind of but I've always enjoyed it. I've always enjoyed contact sports. I've always enjoyed the aggression side of things, like Oklahoma drills and football, and like I like that competition. So I was always interested in fighting. Like, I wanted to play hockey because they let people fight. That was the only thing I wanted to play. But I was a terrible ice skater. So
minor details.
I'd have been like Happy Gilmore.
Exactly. That's funny stuff, man. Let me ask you this. So as you're going through, because I know this is how it was for me. When I got taught by this guy in my early 20s, and I just started developing more confidence. It was nothing that anyone noticed, but I just felt like I could handle anything in life, like it extended to anything in life. Did you kind of get that same feeling as you're getting better in martial arts? Like there was nothing that you couldn't handle?
No, not really.
You're shooting down my theory.
Huh?
Appreciate it, brother. You're shooting down my theory. No, go ahead.
No, I mean, hey.
Tell me how you felt. Absolutely.
That was your experience. That's totally, genuine to you.
Absolutely.
No, for me, it jump started my fitness journey. I was already a SEAL, but I already went through buds and everything. So obviously I wasn't in terrible shape, but, I thought that I looked good. I thought that I was fit, and I wasn't. I was also drinking a lot. Cause I went through, after I got back from Afghanistan, I was in Afghanistan at 21. So it was my college years, When I got back, I was partying a lot, partying like a rock star, and SEALs travel all over the country, and, we party hard, work hard, play hard,
Yep.
And I'm an extremist. I'm an extremist in everything I do. So, partying is one of them. And drinking a lot, and didn't care at all about nutrition. I ate at Taco Bell all the time, Chick-fil-A. I love milkshakes. And I was like, I can do everything I need to do. I don't really care. And I delusionally thought I looked good, and I was like, yeah, I look great. And looking back at pictures when I actually got in shape, and then looking back at pictures, I'm like, oh my God, I cannot fucking believe I sent a shirtless picture, in the mirror or something to a girl. And I'm thinking, I thought I looked good. Oh my God. Yeah. But that's what martial arts kind of like, because of the weight classes and competition and stuff. I was like, my first fight I did at 205.
Really?
And yeah, and I was 220. So I cut down like to 205, and I remember thinking like, man, that was tough. Like the weight cut, you know. And then I was like, if I got to 185, dude, that is so small. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
But, you know, but then it's funny, like now looking back at like, that's on the amateur side, but on the professional side, 185, look at Sean Strickland, you know,
Exactly.
look how much bigger he is than me, you know, and he was 230, you know, 6'1", 230, but cutting down and fighting at the 185. And that's really the biggest thing I've seen in the UFC is guys are huge like that. Like, how the hell do you make 155 or 170 or 185?
Yeah.
It's just like, in no way. That's crazy. They're so big. But anyway,
Look at
so
O'Malley.
like,
What is he? 130 fights at 135, right?
who, Strickland?
O'Malley? Isn't O'Malley 135?
35.
That's insane. 6 foot or 6'1", 135. Holy shit.
Yeah, no, but they all walk around 40 pounds heavier,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so like, but martial arts made me really like, okay, well, if I focus on my diet and working out and stuff, then I can cut that weight and I can, you know, get down and compete at a lower weight class. And then, you know, I finally got to 185, and then I was a champion at 185, and then I was like, you know, I think I can go to 170, honestly. And it's like, you know, and then I got to 170 and I was like, damn, looking back, I'm like, I was fat, you know? And so that, yeah, martial arts really helped my fitness journey, and that really helped me kind of feel more like what you're saying, like confident and all that. I felt probably like most people, kind of delusionally confident in my fighting abilities before I learned to fight. Because it's when you start training martial arts and you start rolling or doing jiu-jitsu or sparring with people that are really good, then you realize, oh shit, I don't know anything and I'm terrible.
Yep.
You know, like, so I had the opposite. So I was like, yeah, I'm a badass, whatever. As I started learning fighting, I was like, ooh, man, I don't know as much as I think, you know, or I need to get better like now. So the fitness side made me more confident in my appearance and stuff like that. And it also was like, okay, I'm not reaching my full potential physically, so that can help my fighting. And then learning the fighting skills correctly and all that stuff, then it was like, okay, now I can apply all this. And yeah, as you get better, then you start feeling more confident and everything. And I would say that my martial arts journey was also more of like an ego thing. I wanted to like prove to people that I was like a badass, you know? And like, I think going through the SEAL teams at 18, 19 years old and being one of the youngest guys, and you're around guys that are 25, 26, they're looking at you like you're a little kid, you know, or you're the young guy or whatever. And they kind of like look down on you in a way. And, or that's how I felt, you know, like almost like brushed off.
Right.
And it was like, and I didn't think that was justified, because I'm like, I'm going through the same training you're going through.
Yep.
You know? Like, why are you looking at me like I'm just some fucking, you know, young dude or whatever? And I wanted that like respect, and I felt like, you know, fighting is kind of one of those things where it's like, that's the ultimate, you know, kind of equalizer. It's like, look at altercations, like people get in arguments, you boil over, and then you fucking fight. Whoever you get your ass beat, it's like, hey, shut up. you know?
It comes down like it's the essence of a man. It's like mano y mano, what you got. Like that's what it boils down to me.
It's super primal, you know?
Exactly.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to fucking prove people that I'm a bad motherfucker and like I can fight, you know? Because again, growing up, I've been in lots of fights.
Yep.
So, and I was confident because I'd never lost a fight.
Right.
So, and then when I, you know, got into training and jiu-jitsu and MMA, I was doing well, you know, like, because it's not like they put you up against Sean Strickland day one, you know.
Yeah.
So you go against people your same skill, your same, experience level and all that, and versus those people, I did very well, and I, quickly climbed the ranks and everything. So I, eventually ended up becoming a pro and everything, and at some point, it's like, all right, I'm a pro MMA fighter. I've been a champion 10 times. I've been ranked number 1 on the East Coast, 2 different weight classes. Like, I have countless gold medals in jiu-jitsu. And, like, I'm very much recognized. Like, and especially, like, this is after I have, like, a big following on Instagram and everything. It's like, okay, I'm very much, like, recognized, I would say, as like a badass. Like, I don't think anyone looks at me and thinks, this guy's a bitch. I'm a Navy SEAL and a pro MMA fighter. So after that, and it kind of just like, I think also with getting older and more mature, and kind of I do a lot of reflection, and it's kind of like, yeah, that was all. A lot of that was just ego, and it was just wanting to prove that I am these things. And now it's kind of like, I feel like I've done that, maybe I'm not like the baddest fucking dude on the planet. Right. Like, but that's fine. Like, I don't need to be the best fighter in the world to sleep at night and like to feel good about myself. Like, I know that I'm one of the best fighters and hardcore fighters, people, whatever, on earth. Like, when you look at the 8 billion people on earth, I'm at the fucking top. Yeah. And, maybe there's a handful of people ahead of me, and good on them, like,
yeah, absolutely.
I'm good where I'm at, and to me, it was kind of like a realization that I don't really need to prove anything anymore.
Good for you. So now, how do you get into the supplement industry from this point? And what organization were you fighting for at the time?
I fought a lot in Spartica, which was one of the premier fighting organizations on the East Coast and really in the country. I mean, I fought in a bunch of different promotions, and Spartica put on one of the best. Like, besides the UFC, they put on the next best one, and I'm talking even better than Bellator, all that shit. And LFA, fought for them as well.
Any dealings with UFC at all?
No, I fought in Glory Kickboxing as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was planning on doing the UFC. When I got out of the SEAL teams, I was planning on pursuing the UFC, but then my supplement company kind of just took off, and so I made my supplements. I never intended on making a supplement company,
really,
but I came up with this blend of organic green superfoods, and this is what I used to cut weight for my fights.
Okay.
And that really helped in my fitness journey and cutting fat and, being in a big caloric deficit. And I would fast for 10 days at a time, just drinking these. And
10 days. Wow.
Yeah. I'm about to do a 10-day fast September 1st with a bunch of people are joining.
Okay.
But anyway, so that's how I would lose weight for my fights and everything, and still have lots of energy and train and everything. And didn't think anything of it. My followers were just like begging me, like, make that a product, and I'm like, I don't even know how to go about that,
Yeah.
But ended up contacting a manufacturer out of pure annoyance, like, people just chirping at me, and I was like, hey, can you take these 7 different products that I'm mixing together and just make one thing? And they were like, yeah, sure. And I was the Smashing Frog, so my followers were calling that concoction I was making the Smashing Greens. So I was like, here, Smashing Greens are a thing. And yeah.
It's so funny, right? Like, you literally had no desire to get into it. Mm-hmm. These guys just kind of, you're like, yeah, what the fuck? Let me try and see what happens. And bam.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And, so, and then I had the idea to come, I came up with the idea for the Integrity Challenge, 10-day Smashing Greens Integrity Challenge, which is what I'm going to do on the September 1st. So I said to my followers, like, hey, if you guys want to do what I'm doing, buy the Smashing Greens, and if you do a 10-day fast with me and you post your before picture, your after picture, and your daily weigh-ins every day to show that you're continuously fasting and losing weight, and then just write about your experience. And if you do that, I'll give you your money back for the greens. I'll give you $100, and you have to lose a minimum of 15 pounds because I knew that would happen because I've done it so many times.
Okay.
And I said, if you do that, I'll give you your money back for the greens, $100 cash, and a $100 gift card to my website. I said, nice. You have nothing to lose but weight.
Yeah.
And a ton of people jumped on it, and because at the time I had like 70,000 followers, and people are like freaking out, like, well, what are you doing? You know, like, you can't afford that. And I'm like, hey, I hope everybody does it because then it'll show my product works.
Absolutely.
And a shitload of people bought it and did it. And we did like 110,000 in sales in the first week.
Nice.
And I was like, whoa. Like, you know, I didn't come from money, you know, so none of my family has any money. So it was like, when that happened, I was like, I hit the lottery, you know, and I was just like, okay, this has to become my focus now, you know? So it was like, I don't really care about going to the UFC. I need to tap into this because there's something here.
Yep. And you still at the teams at this point?
No, I just got out.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a transition, brother. Oh my God.
Right?
Perfect.
Went from paycheck to paycheck, and, you know, being pumped if I got some per diem once in a while.
Yep.
To like, I felt like I said, I won the lottery. I was like, whoa, this is
Absolutely.
crazy. And so I went all in on my business, and and then it took off, you know, and we ended up doing really well. Like, you know, I made more money in 1 year out of the teams than I did in 10 years of in it. And I was like, wow, this is nuts. So that became my focus and everything. And grew it to a full supplement line, you know, had like 25 different products and everything. Wow. And we were crushing it. Our best year we did 3.4 million. Whew. And I was just selling out of my bedroom at first, and then, you know, my garage, and then eventually I had to get a warehouse and everything. So
good for you.
So that was cool. But then COVID happened, and, you know, all the fucking BLM bullshit and all that. And, you know, and it was just like, dude, what the fuck is going on? How is everybody just silent right now and just taking this and like complying with this fucking tyranny? Like, this is legitimately like the most tyrannical thing our country has ever truly endured. And like, people are just folding like lawn chairs left and right. And to me, it was just like, dude, and everybody that had a platform, everybody that had influence, everybody that actually had shit to lose was fucking silent.
Yeah.
And it was pissing me off. And I was like, well, fuck, man. In the absence of leadership, you need to lead. And, you know, I had shit to lose. I had a fucking big platform at the time, almost 400,000 followers. I had a business, you know, that was purely online. But I felt like it was too important to just sit there and take this shit. And because nobody was doing anything, and felt like Americans just needed guidance. They needed leadership. And, you know, there's a lot of people out there that talk about leadership and sell leadership, and their whole shit is leadership. Where the fuck were they, you know? And so I led from the front, you know, and I paid the man. They ended up deleting my shit, and it cost me millions of dollars, you know.
Is Instagram that did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's unbelievable, bro. With a swipe of a pen, or however you want to describe it, just take your account down, man. It's sickening.
Yeah. 95% of my sales came right from Instagram. So
wow.
Really kneecapped me, you know, and my business, I went from 13 employees to 1, you know, and it's just been an uphill battle ever since. So, you know,
and
but
when did this occur that they shut you down?
What's that?
When was this that they shut you down?
2021.
Okay. And then, so did you immediately kind of start, you know, you regrouped and then kind of launched again, or?
This is my 5th Instagram account. I didn't stop. Like,
holy shit.
It was like, oh, you fuckers want to go to war? Like, all right, you know, but.
So what did he keep taking you down for, or shutting you down?
because I kept being outspoken against the vaccines. I kept being outspoken against BLM. I was outspoken against the election. I was outspoken against a lot of shit. You know? So
it should scare people on either side of the political spectrum. I don't care who you voted for, because if they could do this to you, they could do it to anyone. It is incredible, man. Like, you know, you fought for our military, you fought for our freedoms, and then you turn around, and when you try to exercise them, shut you down. It is disgusting.
Yeah. So, you know, but my hope was to kind of like start a revolution, you know, like lead from the front. I don't know. And inspire people to do the same. Be brave, be courageous, you know, speak up against this fucking tyranny. And, you know, it is what it is. It cost me fucking millions of dollars. And, you know, I don't know if I moved the needle much, but lesson learned. And,
you look yourself in the mirror at least.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely can and do. So.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. So what are you doing now? Can you tell us about the program with the 501(c)(3), because that's an unbelievable program that you started.
Yeah, so I started Adopt a Cop BJJ. So I started that in basically response to the George Floyd bullshit, and may he rest in piss. And George, you know, when that happened and everybody was calling for defund the police, obviously I'm like, that's the complete wrong answer. Cops need more training, and I feel like a lot of these shootings happen from a lack of confidence or fear. And, you know, if these cops had a blue belt level of knowledge, you know, they would not be afraid to go hands-on with these people and would just dominate them and control the situation safely, and it would end in, you know, without the loss of life, without a shooting. And, you know, and also if any time a police officer gets into any kind of confrontation or physical grappling situation, it is a life and death situation, because you're wearing a gun, like you have a gun on your hip, and that suspect could get to your weapon if you're not the dominant grappler. So it's about safety. Like if you're a police officer, you should be training jiu-jitsu. And it's not, again, I'm very qualified to, you know, speak about this. And I'm telling you right now, jiu-jitsu is a superpower compared to people that don't know it. Yeah. And not fucking McDojo bullshit. It's real. And like, I do demonstrations with police officers where I'll blindfold myself and lay on the ground, and I'm like, go ahead, subdue me. And I just effortlessly submit them, because jiu-jitsu is done by feel. You know what the elbow's connected to. You know, it's, you know, I know where your if I get your wrist, I know where the rest of you is by feel. So like, I'm like, you know, how could you not feel confident when I am blindfolded and laying here and you get submitted by me effortlessly? How could you not have confidence going hands-on with someone?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And I was saying, like, you know, obviously I'm at a black belt, there's levels to everything, but a blue belt level of knowledge will give you a night and day difference in you know, your performance again, or whoever's going to dictate the outcome of that situation. And so, you know, the cool thing about the charity is no matter where you stand on police, everybody wants less shootings, you know? So support it, you know, support police officers training, and, or be, you know, getting that training. But, you know, the problem is, and the charity's been a charity for 4 years now. I put the first 60 cops on my own credit card to like get the program going and like get a proof of concept, you know?
Really?
And,
wow.
And we've gotten donations from my supporters and stuff like that over the years. And I have never taken a paycheck from it or anything. Like, I donate a fuckload of money to this to get it, like, cause I believe in it. And, you know, but the problem is we grew very quickly, you know, and we're in all 50 states. We're in over 1,500 gyms, actually, across the country. We've graduated almost 400 officers to blue belt. And just to give you an idea of the attrition rate, you know, only 30% of people that start jiu-jitsu ever get their blue belt. So that'll tell you, that shows you, you know, how many officers have actually been through the training that have several months that we're paying for, and then they quit, you know. But still, I mean, those guys still are better off than not, you know.
100%.
You know, so it's not like, it's not a perfect thing. Like, I'm just trying to get as many people training as possible. But the problem is, like, over the years, like, we've done zero, like, until like this year, because we realized, oh fuck, we have to start doing some fundraising type stuff. Like, I'm trying to just make it to where the cops going through the program are, posting on their Instagram and asking for donations. And I'm figuring people that, like, oh, that's my friend or my family member or whatever, why I'm following them. Like, I want to help support this, So it's like, I figured that would be enough to sustain, the system, but it's not. And, and the problem is, like, we all these fucking officers that want to go through the training, which is great, but it's like nobody really wants to. Everyone wants to benefit from it, but no one wants to, like, help get it funded.
Yeah.
And the hard thing about cops is, like, a lot of corporations and stuff like that, it can be kind of political. Like, they don't want to be shown supporting police, because then it's like, have times or something. Everybody loves firefighters because they're public servants that don't give you tickets.
Yeah. They're not taking freedoms away.
Yeah, and that's like fire. It's so funny because so many firefighters have been like, "Hey, can we, get the same thing?" And I'm like, "No, fuck you. Everybody loves you."
Exactly.
But,
how many guys have you fought in the last 10 years?
But and like, you'll get like the EMS people and all that, and I'm like, yeah, but nobody like just people. Cops are hated by many. Like, my grandfather and my uncle were both police officers, and like, like, it's such a dangerous job. It's a very important job, and it's a thankless job a lot of times. So it's like, hey, do you want a job that's super dangerous? Most people fucking hate you and treat you like shit. You're dealing with assholes all day long, and you don't have much support. Even if you do get, like, in some situation, even your own command probably won't have your back. Yeah. And it doesn't pay that great. Do you want that job?
Yeah. Sign me up.
Like, oh yeah, sign me up. Yeah, fuck. So it's like, I recognize that, and I want to, like, give back and support police officers, because it's, again, a necessary job and it's important. And and it's so funny to me because people, like, will, like, revere the military or whatever, or even SEALs, like that. Like, how many fucking cops I've met that are like, whoa, you're a SEAL, like, and I'm like, or they kind of, like, put SEALs on a pedestal almost, and I'm like, dude, like, your job is so much more dangerous than mine. Like, I'm only in harm's way when I'm deployed. Like, you're in harm's way every day, and you stick out like a sore thumb, and, like, the media doesn't do you any good. Like, you know what I mean?
You're under a microscope. Like, there's cameras everywhere.
And it's just like, so I just feel for them, and so I wanted to give back and show support and be a solution.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, it's just tremendous what you're doing, and it's funny you mentioned the hatred.
Unfortunately, though, like, we have not, been receiving many donations, and the program is probably going to have to shut down, unless something turns around, like, in the next month or so, because like, it's been bad. And Massive is, like, we're fighting an uphill battle, so I don't have the money to keep funding it, so this is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, people need to step up, and a lot of these cops that are involved in this program need to step their asses up and get going here, because if they collectively work together, they can definitely... 400
blue belts that have, gotten it through the program, and it's like, oh, cool, thanks.
Yeah, exactly. Turn around and get back, man. Jesus Christ, put the ladder down for our other guys.
Yeah, so, I don't know. So, hopefully... something changes. If not, I gave it my best shot. So,
well, you've done a ton, brother. So, I appreciate it. I can't imagine how frustrating it is, especially putting these 400 through, and these guys aren't turning around and literally putting the ladder down for others. But
some of them have,
of course.
It's we could definitely use more help and support for sure.
Yeah, well, send me anything you have that you want to publicize it. I'll obviously put it on and tag fellow guys that I know that can put it on theirs as well. It's I don't know, it defies logic sometimes. I used to run a fire police hockey team, and it was a 501(c), and asking some of these guys to just do the smallest things was like pulling teeth. Yeah. And, you want to bang your head against the wall, like, after all I've done, and, sacrifice for you guys, like living. It's unbelievable. Like you guys can't do this, but unfortunately, it's the nature of the beast, man.
Yeah.
Again, thank you for everything you're doing with that. So, just one more thing now. So you know what I'm all about here with my podcast and mindset. So when you're going through this, when they pull your profile down from Instagram and kind of shut you down, obviously I can't imagine, how tumultuous that felt. I can't imagine frustration, anger. How are you kind of going through that day to day? If they essentially, close your business, so to speak, how are you getting through that yourself mentally?
Well, shit, I've been going through that for the last 4 years. So like, you get used to anything, you adapt to everything. But when it first happened, it felt like my house burned down. My Instagram, I built it up organically over years and put a ton of effort into it. And it was also kind of like a diary of my journey, and
sure.
And it, at the time, it was the most important thing in my life. And people would ask me, like, what are you most proud of? And I'd say my Instagram, and they expect me to say like, oh, getting my trident, being a SEAL or whatever. But it was my Instagram, because I never thought in a million years that I'd be able to help and impact as many people as I had. I've had probably like 7 or 8 people DM me and, FaceTime with me and tell me that they were going to kill themselves and decided not to because of my message or the Mitch show, listening to my perspective on things. And,
wow.
And, had probably 15 plus people get my logo tattooed on them and, and tell me about how I've changed their life in so many ways. And I used to keep a folder on my phone called motivation, and it was anytime like someone DM'd me and like told me about how I impacted them in a positive way or whatever, I would screenshot that and put it in that folder, and when I would get kind of like down or whatever, like if I don't want to do this, why am I doing this? Like I would look at that, and that's like, okay, you are making a difference. Like you are impacting a lot of people. So, so when they deleted my, and again, it was a super powerful financial tool for me.
Sure.
The most financial tool for me. And at that time I had already made millions of dollars, Yep. And when it was gone, like just overnight, boom, gone, was like, how is this real? Like this really just happened? Holy shit. So, it was rough, but at the same time I was like fucking pissed. And like I said, it was like, I really felt like it was the most tyrannical thing we've ever experienced as a country. And, that oath is all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Yep. And
I was like, this is a domestic fucking problem. And like, I was ready to go to war. And at the time, like I said, I had made a ton of money. I had a bunch of money in my account. Like, I felt kind of untouchable and was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, maybe this is like about to be apocalyptic type shit, and like I'm gonna have to go full warlord,
Yeah,
so
I was wondering if there was gonna be a revolution going down, to be honest with you, because you didn't know which way it was gonna go at that point.
I was ready. I was fucking ready for it, and I was like, let's fucking go. Say when.
Yeah.
And that was my mindset towards it. So like I said, I didn't stop. I made another Instagram account, and it shot up to 60,000 followers then. And I kept fucking my foot on the gas, and they deleted that one. Then I got up another one, got up to 35,000 foot on the gas, deleted that one. 22,000, deleted that one. Now, and by this time, enough time had passed to where it was like, now it's safer for people to talk about the shit that's going on, and people are starting to kind of creep their heads out the door and, yeah, this is wrong.
Yeah.
And it's
plus
like,
it's been proven that it was all Yeah,
Oh,
they lied to our
everything I was
faces.
saying
Yep.
is now verifiably true. In
Yeah,
fact,
the amount of corruption that took place is astronomical.
yeah. So, it was really frustrating, but yeah. So, yeah, and then now it's kind of like, all right, after the dust settles and everything, it really did financially impact me a ton,
Oh yeah,
and that sucks. It
yeah,
really sucks going from a lot of money in your account to watching that shit just shrink, and having to fight that adversity, being a small company in a big space, and having to compete with big competitors with a low budget, or no
yeah,
budget. And I was my own influencer. I didn't need other influencers because I had my own huge organic following. And the problem is, like, people don't realize, it's like, how many people do you follow on Instagram?
Me just over 1,000.
Okay, if one of them just disappeared, would you notice?
No,
So look how many fucking people, you know, it took, like, for years. People were, every day almost. Oh shit! Where'd your profile go? I didn't know where you went. Something will remind them of me, or what? Like your hardcore followers and supporters, they followed me each time.
yeah,
But unless you really like follow and interact with someone and look for their content daily, you would never know if somebody just kind of fell off or
yeah,
disappeared or whatever. And that's what, like, they did, and they used that tactic multiple times to fucking silence me. And like I said, over time, people are just like, oh damn, I thought I was following you. What happened? Like, I didn't hear from you from a long time. And it's like, yeah, lots been happening,
yeah, exactly.
So slowly but surely, I'm rebuilding, and it's like, I can sit here and cry about it, but that's not going to fucking benefit me. It's not going to help anything. So, just got to play the hand you're dealt and make the best of what you got.
It's a true, great advice for living in and of itself, man. And there's no legal recourse for you, I assume,
Yeah,
with dealing with
no.
these guys.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
I can't even afford a lawyer. Who am I going to sue? Mark Zuckerberg?
Yeah, exactly. It's unbelievable, man.
I got sued by Monster, like,
Did
Energy.
you?
Yeah, because they said my logo was too similar to my old logo was too similar to theirs. And I'm like, really? This company's worth fucking, like, how many billions of dollars? And it's
Yeah.
like, you're going to really fucking, like, go after a small veteran-owned company? Fuck off.
Yeah, they don't care,
But,
man.
yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? Your attitude is beautiful, especially with everything you've been through, and it can teach us all a lot about not quitting ever. So I truly wish you the best, bro. I'm sorry you've gone through all this shit. It is, listen, life ain't fair, as we both know, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And hitting you, just yeah, we can talk about this shit all night, man. Just, it gets me pissed off just like talking about it, thinking about it. Listen, brother, it's been fantastic talking to you. Thank you so much for your time. I love everything you're doing. Please send me anything that you want promoted. I'll throw it on my Instagram as far as the 501c. If you guys are watching this, please donate to Mitch's organization. Just tell everyone where they can reach anything that you'd like them to reach. All the links will be in the bio.
Yeah, sure. So my Instagram is Mitch _Aguiar, Aguiar. My website to my supplements is Massif, MASF, like move and stay focused, supplements.com. And adoptacopbjj.org is the website for the charity that you can donate at. Or you can donate on Massif's page. There's a link to Adopt a Cop there as well. Yeah, and thanks for your support. Appreciate it.